If you've heard about Corestone alternative energy solutions and our uniquely clean energy production, you probably have some questions. What makes Corestone different from other clean energy sources? How does it work? And why do we claim that we're changing the world? Those are all valid questions, and we are happy to share the answers.
The first thing you need to know is that psychics are real. I mean telepathy, telekinesis, clairvoyance, all of that. When I say psychic, I mean someone who can exert their will on the world around them. Someone who can influence and reshape reality itself.
If you're skeptical, that's understandable. Psionics and parapsychology have been considered a pseudoscience for decades. To explain why psionics have been so difficult to prove, we need to talk about psionic energy.
The way I understand it, psionic energy isn't so much like kinetic energy or thermal energy, like a scientific thing. It's more like the energy a person has, like how awake you are or how far you think you can go on a run. Everyone has a tiny bit of it, but some people just have more. Same way someone might have lighter hair or be better at math. And it's those people like me, who are psychic.
Psionics is still an emerging field, and researchers have yet to understand why psionic energy varies from person to person or how greatly it varies. Regardless, individuals with high psionic energy, psychics as we call them, are a reality, and parapsychology research has repeatedly demonstrated the validity of their abilities.
On my own, I'm still pretty limited. I can't move anything with my mind, I can't read people's thoughts, I can't control premonitions or have them on command, but I can usually sense what people are feeling, and I can detect and identify other psychics with perfect accuracy, even when all my other senses are blinded.
The ability for psychics to sense each other, or more accurately, to detect psionic energy, ended up being the breakthrough that parapsychology needed.
One of the reasons we had such a hard time studying and finding evidence of psionics was because we had no real way to measure or detect psionic energy. It's like if you were trying to measure electricity back in, say, the 15th century. We simply didn't have that technology. Once we realized they could sense each other, we decided to focus on that, using psychics to measure psychics. And that's how we found the Corestones.
Perhaps you've been wondering where the word Corestone in our name comes from. The Corestones are a set of 7 gemstones containing immeasurable amounts of psionic energy, which were detected and tracked down by psionic operatives. They appear to be naturally occurring, and repeated probing suggests there are only 7, although study into these artifacts is ongoing and our knowledge of them is constantly changing.
As psychics, we're able to tap into the Corestones and access their psionic energy, which amplifies our own abilities almost exponentially. When I'm holding a Corestone, I can move things with my mind, I can glimpse things before they happen, and I can broadcast my thoughts onto a radio. I've gotten really good at that one. I like to tease my husband with broadcasting whatever song I currently have stuck in my head.
Once we found the orange Corestone, we kept figuring out more and more about psionic energy. And we're constantly learning new ways to detect and measure and channel it. We keep discovering new things that psychics can do with the Corestones, reading people's minds, interfacing with technology, manipulating psionic energy itself. Eventually, we realized we could use that to generate electricity. And so that's when I reached out to Masha and Jude.
The environment has always been important to me, but our original renewable energy endeavors were never profitable. And it never felt like we were making a dent. If I'm honest, I was feeling pretty discouraged when Eugene reached out to us.
When Eugene first proposed the project to us, no one was more skeptical than I was. But then I worked side by side with him to build the Corestone generators, and I'm proud to say that they are truly unparalleled innovations. Each of our active generators is powered by a Corestone and run by one of our psionic operatives. And they use the Corestone psionic energy to generate electricity.
The Corestone generators burn no fuel, take up very little space, and require minimal maintenance. Their carbon footprint is only as large as the footprint of the psionic operatives running them, and their output is only limited by the operatives' training and imagination.
Working at Corestone has been incredible because I feel like I'm doing something important. I'm not just helping to push the boundaries of science, I'm helping to protect the environment. I feel like I'm saving the world. I'm doing something that matters.
And you can support us in doing what matters most. We hope you'll join us at Corestone Alternative Energy Solutions as we
Save our planet.
Change the world.
Power the future.